Hey, welcome back to our Invisible Strength series. I'm your co-host, Kieran Wagner, and I'm joined by the amazing Chris Burton. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, it's always great to be here, Karen. Hope you're doing well also.
Absolutely. Today, we are thrilled to welcome Maya Rogers. She's a standout former softball player at Harris-Stowe State University and now coaches high school softball. She's in graduate school at the Morehouse School of Medicine. But if that wasn't enough, Maya has turned her pain into purpose, founding MochaaBeauty, specializing in wigs and facials, which I personally can attest to with these diseases wreaking havoc on our hair, our skin. There's no part that's not fair game, unfortunately. We are thrilled to get to know Maya and for her to share her stories. Maya, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you guys for having me.
Oh, no, I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. So, Maya, tell us a bit about your story, your journey, everything from, there's so many highlights that Karen just mentioned. So, talking about your time as a softball player and go all the way to creating MochaaBeauty and now coaching high school softball and being at the house at Morehouse for graduate school. So tell us a bit about your journey and how you dealt with that while, everything was going on.
Okay, so I really think I've had lupus since I was in high school. So I want to say maybe 16 or 17 years old. I played volleyball and softball. So during volleyball season, I would get like these big old welches or something like bumps on my elbows, and it was kind of weird, but they was like, it's because you were a libero, you always falling on your elbow. I'm like, sure, whatever. So then post graduated from high school, I broke out all over my face, and my mom thought because I went to another school's prom and then I graduated the next day. So I just kind of kept makeup on. I don't know why I did that. But my face broke out. So my mom was like, you're just breaking out from the makeup, whatever. I'm like, okay, but when it wouldn't go away, it's like a rash on my face. And I was like, Mom, this is not a makeup thing. She was like, well, you got eczema and stuff. But it was just a big confusion. So she took me to the doctor. Everything kept coming back inconclusive. Nobody knew what was going on. They was just like, we don't know, just, stay out the sun and stuff. Because it seemed to get irritated in the sun, which that should have been a key point, you know what I'm saying? Because can't be in the sun. I went my whole college career not knowing I had lupus. I used to have the rash on my face. My eyes would swell up. It would be so many things going on there. I just thought that I was like, I don't know, allergic to the city I was in or something. It's just frustrating. I just tried to change my diet. And like, there was one point I had to cut all my hair off, and I thought it's because I wore a bad wig. But probably was the lupus that probably was in a flare-up and didn't know it. I went from three doctors, and one doctor, I want to say my freshman year of college, she did a biopsy on me. But she said, she never said that it came back as lupus. I guess like the markers or the cells that they're testing for, it never tested positive for what they're looking for. But she said it was a possibility. I never went to a rheumatologist until a dermatologist told me to go find a rheumatologist. After I graduated college, I went to go see a doctor who my grandfather was going to. Her name Dr. Donna Ward. She was in Indiana. And she was like, oh, baby, you have lupus. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, go see a rheumatologist. So I ended up going to the University of Chicago off recommendation. I met my rheumatologist who I have now. He's like, yeah, that's not just skin lupus. You have systemic. That led to that. But in the midst of that, MochaaBeauty came around during COVID. I want to say that's when I really started taking passion for hair serious because it was slow. It was nothing. Jobs were closing. So I was like, I got to make some money somehow. So I just went and started braiding. I started taking lash courses, and that's pretty much how MochaaBeauty got founded.
Something that just like, man, this is happening to me. But what you're just describing, Maya, is that you're consistently just finding a way to just pivot, and to have not only had symptoms of lupus since age 16, but to have played a college sports while this is going on. It's really remarkable. So I got too hyped and jumped in, but I just had to say that because it's really incredible what you described.
Yeah, it was crazy playing, especially like during the season. I would be thinking I was so fatigued and bones were hurting from the sport, but
yeah,
it's all along because now that I'm in medicine, I'm way better. And I've only experienced that arthritis pain from lupus maybe twice, like during the flare up, and that's like the worst thing ever. But I know it was similar to what I was feeling in school.
What stood out to me is you had all these symptoms, and a lot of times these symptoms appear long before we're actually diagnosed. The best line ever is, I thought I was allergic to the city I was in. But it can feel like that because the symptoms are all over the place. One thing, you attribute it to makeup and whatnot, but I give you credit for continually paying attention and bringing it up because eventually you got there. But what a long road.
Yeah, it was about 6 years until I got diagnosed in 2023, the official doctor year. I currently pursue my master's online, but I do go to Atlanta here and there just to, check in with the professors and peers. But I'm in Kansas City right now, so I moved out here. Yep, so I coach in high school down here.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. Sure. So how do you define success now? Like, with all this going on, not just the challenges of lupus, but all that you got going on in the positive sense of, being a business owner, a student, and a coach. Like, what does achievement and success look like for you, Maya?
Yeah, I don't put success on the highest pedestal as I used to. I'm starting to give myself a little bit more grace with stuff. So success to me is very small. It's the little things that matter. Like when I was coaching the other day and I was trying to explain the drill to them and they end up getting it. Like that's a success to me, not them perfecting it, but actually trying it. With schools, I got assignments due on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So success, like school-wise, would be Monday and Tuesday. I'm able to, get the lecture out the way and get some notes taken. So that's a small success to me. I get there when I can. I do it when I can, and getting it done is the biggest part to me. Like as long as I get it done.
The day-to-day can be the biggest wins. It's just learning to give yourself grace. I appreciate you saying that. You've definitely had some tough times in those moments where it just feels like people aren't believing you or you know something's wrong and you just can't get answers. In those times where you're frustrated or angry or confused, all of the above, how have you gotten yourself through those tough times?
God and prayer, the only thing that really grounded. The worst flare up I've ever had was after I was diagnosed, and it was like a few months after because I was refusing to get on hydroxychloroquine at the time. I don't want to take medicine for the rest of my life, and it ended up like exploding in my face. The flare just came and hair fluid was falling out, and it was just bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the most down I've ever felt, like spiritually, emotionally, physically. Just the overall, I was like at zero, almost 0%. But I really did keep my faith because even though it's hard to talk to God sometimes, I think people kind of use the saying that He knows my heart a little too. Mm-hmm. But truthfully, He really does know my heart. He know, like, at the end of the day that I know that He gonna make sure I'm okay. So it really was just that carried me through. Yeah. And I got a strong support system at home. My grandparents, they don't ever let me go through too much by myself.
Oh, for sure. What are those small everyday habits that you've picked up or you've adopted or that maybe you've been using the whole time, but that you would say have made the biggest impact on your health, your energy, and your mindset?
Probably dietary habits, I would say. And that's led into me living a calmer life because I know I'm kind of younger, y'all. So I'm going to say I did used to crash out back then. I used to like really hot tempered and, let anything get to me or I'm always ready to argue or something. But no, I just can't do it. Woosah and watching what I eat, I've also noticed that like I can't do the junk food no more. I feel it in my body. I also like, my attitude. I get irritated when I eat bad. So it's the small things like making sure I drink water if I go to bed, drink water when I wake up. Taking shots of apple cider vinegar every day. I make sure I do that. Take my vitamins, include greens and all the things that I know I need in my diet. Eat fruit.
Maya, out of all those things, is there one thing that has truly, really, really helped? Or is it a combination of all of it?
Yeah, the fruit. Eating fruit, definitely. Like a small, even if it's like an apple a day, a couple grapes here and there. Like I've seen fruit take my condition from the worst it could have been on, feel like my face flaring up to like 15%, still there a little bit, but it definitely helps calm me down.
I can relate. Chris and I are big on smoothies, and that has helped me tremendously make sure I'm getting all that healthy intake.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is for me. That's like one major thing. Fruits got to stay in my house. And I'm trying to learn how to make smoothies now, but I'm not the best. They be nasty and watery.
It's a journey. You got to find like the right base for it and what fruits complement each other. It took me, I'm not gonna lie, probably 10 years to get my smoothie game to where it is today.
We can give you some tips. It is a journey, though.
And then you'll make some nasty smoothies along the way.
Maya, you're a coach of softball players. Going through your long journey, and you're an example and a leader to them. What advice or perspective would you offer kids going through these journeys?
Live like it's not there. At the end of the day, we know we got a condition that we have to deal with for our rest of our lives until the cure comes out. Meantime, you don't have to say, "Oh, I have lupus." I'm normal. You'll just as much as you was doing before you knew that you had it. I think that's probably what got me through, and that's probably why God didn't want me to find out until, after I graduated school and finished my career. It's just like, maybe I would have been like, well, I'm not going to keep playing no more. Took it a little bit slower, but I was always on the go. You couldn't tell me to stop doing nothing. I went to school, work, practice. It was nothing that I wasn't doing. Don't let it stop you.
I love that. Our tagline is unseen yet unstoppable. So go for it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, and it is hard. Like with it being an unseen illness, people don't understand. Like I feel good today, but tomorrow might not. And can't even tell you why. It may not even look like it.
Right.
They don't understand.
That's right.
To that note, what would you like other people to understand you've run into throughout your journey that you want to share with others?
That's such a great question, because let's really get down to it. A lot of people are completely clueless about lupus and autoimmune diseases in general. One very thing that I wish people understood about this chronic illness is that they're considered to be invisible. Many people hear disease or they hear that you have an illness and they prejudge your condition because we don't always look like what we go through. And that's typical to hear, but it's also kind of heartbreaking, because if you knew what I looked like last week because of my flare, now I'm okay and I'm better. It's just crazy. It'll just attack and then it'll stop one day. It's unhinged until treated. For my students, I love you guys and I am with you guys and I get it. Even those in the workforce, we never know what the day will bring. I wish people understood that it's not only a physical battle for us, it's a mental battle and a spiritual battle.
Okay.
Yeah, especially being young, we're looked at as always being able, but sometimes we just can't be there. But we try our best. More grace was extended upon people with lupus. Students, the journey of battling the autoimmune disease is tough. And I was just talking about how in 5 to 6 years with being undiagnosed, and
I was gonna say thank you for sharing that, because when you were speaking, it made me think about when you mentioned your students, it made me think about when I had a flare while I was a high school teacher. And I'm just curious how much engagement you've had with the students talking about lupus. Has it ever come up, like something where maybe they're experiencing health issues, or their family members are experiencing health issues, and you've been able to talk about your own journey with?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first year being considered a coach and being intimate with kids, like actually, getting a paycheck for it. So I haven't had that come up yet, especially with the season just getting started. So we all still kind of, to each other, but that's definitely something that I'll be open about sharing. I think I will definitely be able to help them and tell them, I give them all the tips and tricks that I got, because I'm more of a holistic type of person anyway. So that's something I always want to kids to know they're not alone.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Can you share some of the tips and tricks that you got, especially with MochaaBeauty? Oh, yeah. MochaaBeauty, that girl, she's just, oh. So, everything I do comes from, it's organic. Everything is organic. I make products organically, facial products. I make hair products organic. Because with my lupus affecting my hair falling out, I also had psoriasis, on the scalp.
Got you.
It's like, dang, can't win for losing. It's definitely,
One thing after another.
yeah, it is. It is. But it's getting better. Yeah, I take a lot of baths. Like bathing just helps calm the nervous system in general, especially the Epsom salt. I love me some Epsom salt.
Yeah.
Super good for us. Like I said, fruits, lots of water, just keeping a clean diet. I think that's like a big thing. A big thing. I don't eat beef or pork.
Everyone reacts differently. Some people are just fine with it, and other people are not at all. Dairy just causes me to inflame, but other people are just fine on it.
Yeah, dairy does me dirty.
Yeah.
I love that.
That sounds like a t-shirt. That's real. That's real. No, but thinking about just all the food you take in and everything like that. Like I was wondering if you ever use like you're talking about calming the nervous system. Like have you ever used like lavender? Because I remember one time I went to this farmer's market and they not only had like the plant lavender, but they had like lavender soap and like even lavender lemonade, and just talking about all the healing properties of lavender, how it just helped to help with emotional regulation, nervous system regulation, all that good stuff.
Yeah, lavender, I use that a lot, even though I cannot stand the smell of it. I don't know why I don't.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think it smells wonderful, but it's one of those things where like it either smells great to you or terrible.
It's 0 here for me, but like I gotta deal with it. Just can't stand it.
Yeah.
Super important.
No question.
I've found some of those herbs have been really helpful, whether it's lavender or turmeric. You mentioned apple cider vinegar. That's not an herb, but it's small things to help regulate in general.
For sure.
Most definitely. I know I take a bite of like ginger root, every day I eat ginger root. I eat onions like by themselves. I just get some onions and eat them. Yeah.
Hey. Raw onion just like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, no joke. That's different.
That's intense.
That's not because the onion smell. It just gonna stay with you for like 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Like that's strong.
I usually do it when I don't have nowhere to go because I can't embarrass myself like that.
I'm with you. Okay, I was gonna say it had to be a system. It had to be a system.
But it's like the problem of what onions could do though. They're so healthy and so important.
They are great for you. They're great. That's the truth. So what's your hopes? Like, after you graduate, what are your hopes? Whether it's like with MochaaBeauty, whether it's coaching, just general life health, like what are your hopes after graduation?
So I finished this master's program in December, and then my hopes after this is to go to medical school. So I've just been studying for my MCAT and trying to prepare, for that and get my applications together and get some more volunteer hours. It's actually why I was coming back from. I was volunteering at a food bank early. So I want to become a doctor who I was thinking dermatology was like my big focus, especially because with lupus, our skin and hair is the main thing affected. So I don't know with that, but I'm starting to become kind of interested in cardiology, but I want to help people who like in marginalized communities don't have a lot of access to insurance or money in general. There for that at the end of the day. And then with MochaaBeauty, I still want MochaaBeauty to be there. So I got this vision in my head that I would want like a 3-story building. On the 3rd floor, I'm going to see my patients. Then on the 1st floor, it's going to be a salon. And then on the 2nd floor, it's going to be like a little lounge. The MochaaBeauty Dream Lounge.
Here for it. Here for it.
That sounds perfect.
Tell you. What's up when it's open?
So
Want to see the ribbon get cut.
I would definitely invite you guys. Yeah, that's what coaching and softball. This is something I want to keep in my life like forever. I still want to, get my kids involved. Just get kids in the neighborhood involved with it.
There's something to be said about being in the community with those kids.
Just being around it. I just want to be around the sport.
Energizing.
Maya, your story is incredible. Is there any last words that you want to share with our audience or this community?
First, thank you guys for inviting me. I want to say thank you to my community, to you guys, my family, the people who are the support system of people with autoimmune diseases, because we need those people to lean on. So we thank them. I thank them for being the community and being there for the people who are there. At the end of the day, it's like they never know. They're not in our shoes, but they try to be. They try to be understanding. So that's super important to me.
Thank you for sharing your story. It's incredible. You're accomplishing great things. Lastly, can you please tell people where they can learn more about MochaaBeauty and find you?
MochaaBeauty, her Instagram is Mocha, Mochaa, Beauty Dream Lounge.
Fantastic. We will check it out. Thank you, Maya. Thanks, Chris. Take care, guys.
You
Take care, y'all.